Hello all. Sorry for the little delay. I believe we are now live. I'm gonna double check it. So yeah, we are live. I hope all of you can listen to me. And welcome to this new QWave series. This is our third stream. And before I jump to our speaker and our topic of today, I just want to introduce a little bit what is Quick, and that is the reason that we are here and we are able to prepare these webinars and many other things. So let me put a QR code so you can find us on the website, like it's euroquick.org. We are also in LinkedIn. And just free notes about what is Quick. Quick is the Europe's largest quantum industry association. So we are a non-profit industry association, and our main goal is to grow the quantum technology sector and make Europe like a global market leader. Between our members, we have large enterprise, SMEs, startups, investors, also part of the research, and between many other associations. So we work together to inform about policies, shape the foundation of the industry, and boost the European industry's competitiveness. And as I have said, here is the website, and you can contact us through LinkedIn or through our mail. Also, let me introduce you QExpo, and let me have here a QR code also. So qexpo.org, there in that website you'll have more information, and this is a QR code just in case you want to easily scan it. And what is QExpo? QExpo is one of our key initiatives for 2025. This major event will showcase the latest quantum developments, and there you will be able to connect to the global industry leaders. So if you're interested, you can get the QR code or go to qexpo.org. We have opened also the sponsorships and the booths sponsors. So if you're interested, you can contact us. As a reminder, it's going to be on the 14th and 15th of May in Amsterdam. That said, let me introduce today's speaker and today's episode that is going to be about free educational resources to learn quantum. So many people ask us, where can I find more resources or free resources, or where can I learn? And today's topic is going to be for that. So let me introduce you Araceli. Araceli has several years working from companies like Airbus in Germany and France, and as an aerospace engineer, just before falling in love with quantum mechanics. So she decided to follow her passion for physics and moved to Scotland to pursue a PhD in quantum simulation at the University of Strathclyde. Um, Following discussions with the different quantum stakeholders she had over the last years, she identified the need to bridge the gap between the business and the academia, as well as to raise the quantum awareness to the general public. So she contributed with her work to outreach, advocate quantum technologies. She was named the Quantum Ambassador after winning the Optical Society in Milton and Rosalind Chan Pivoted Fellowship in 2019. Araceli founded her own company called QRECA, that it stands for Quantum Resources and Careers, to create this link between the different stakeholders in the quantum community through a common language, and to generate global opportunities with quantum technologies. So QRECA provides a range of professional services, business development, and the solution to the quantum workforce skills bottleneck. Given that introduction, let me jump Araceli in so we all can see her. So, Araceli, how are you?
Hi, David.
So, Araceli will introduce us to this topic and to this wonderful activity that she is sharing, that is spread the knowledge and let people find this knowledge and to learn a lot. So even that said, I let the floors to you and you are all set up.
Thanks very much, David. Well, hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And thanks, David, for the introduction, very detailed introduction. And thanks, Quick, for the opportunity for me today to present QTIndu courses. As David said, I'm the founder and CEO of QWave, and we have a lot of different resources, all with a focus on skills, training, education. But today, I'm going to really focus on this project from the European Commission that offers free resources. I don't want to hear from anyone that you don't know where to find free courses, that you don't know where to find potential career paths for quantum, because they are there. And we have now launched also a catalog in our website, in the QWave website, where you can find more resources. Ours and also collaborators and other people that have contributed to really that skills bottleneck that everyone is talking about in quantum technologies. Why are we talking about all these? Well, clearly, and you probably have seen this figure, I don't know, but it has become now famous over the years. We kind of try to put together the public funding from all over the world, and we update this figure every 3 to 4 months. And clearly, there is a global opportunity. More and more countries are launching the quantum strategy. I just heard today that Greece is also involving now kind of a new initiative. And we are trying to figure out whether there is funding involved, whether this is from the government. But what you see here is money, public money, put into quantum technologies. So clearly, this is an ecosystem where there is an opportunity. Otherwise, the governments wouldn't put money into that. And there is clearly a job market that is going to be created with all this new industry that we are talking about. The quantum workforce, skills shortage, quantum bottleneck, we don't find the talent. There are different names for that. But really, the need for education has been more and more very important and highlighted topic in any conference, in any event related to quantum technologies. Because it's true, we know that right now there is a need for people that can work in all these new startups and that can develop the technology. But what about the future? What if we transform that opportunity that we know from the industry point of view, the market that is being created, into a job market? We have done that. We have done it in 2020. And what we do is actually to check every 6 months whether we are okay in this figure. And so far, so good. What we see in this figure is the job market for quantum is growing just a little in the coming years, but it will grow really exponentially in the long term. And obviously, when we did this 5 years ago, it really looked like 20 years, but now it's 15. And soon, suddenly it's like, wow, we really need like almost 1 million people that have to work in quantum, and we don't have them. And this is what is happening right now in AI. We need a talent that is not ready. We need to do two things. We need to train the workforce of the future. So that said means talking about how to bring quantum to schools, to undergraduate level, etc. But we need to start retraining people now. We need to upskill people in the industry. We need to create awareness that quantum is coming. And from the European Commission, I think it was clearly from really early stages in 2019 in the strategic research agenda, education was really part of that agenda. It was really important from the European Commission and from the quantum flagship that we need to think about this skilled quantum workforce. And over the years, they have been doing amazing things. When I say they, is the quantum community in Europe. And if you're not familiar with that, you can have a look at the quantum flagship QT.eu website from the quantum flagship directly, and also QTEDU, QTEDU.eu, that has been really focusing on education at different levels, and you see the community that is in Europe towards creating that workforce. Now, if we think about the current projects looking into education, skills, etc., we have a big project that is kind of a coordinating and supporting action that is called QCADS, where in one of the work packages, we see that they really look for standards for workforce development, strategic infrastructures, and how to foster quantum careers. So already from that very top-down structure from the flagship, we see that we have a group of people that are dedicated to this. Then we have the DGQ, that is a European project that focuses on kind of having a European quantum technology master. It's not a master per se, it's kind of how to take courses from other universities, kind of a global master where people from different universities can really enhance their masters with courses developed by others. And it's a very interesting project. You can have a look at the website, and you see that at master level, a lot of things have been done in Europe. And as I said before, there is this quantum education community created in the past by QTIndu, and already developed different pilots and working on different directions. And in terms of outreach and the World Quantum Day, the 14th of April, there are a lot of things that you can find there. We are going to talk today about the one on the right-hand side, QTIndu. This stands by Quantum Technologies Training for Industry. And there we are the coordinators of the project, where we have different partners. And let me tell you more about that. When we think about the different levels of education, as I said, we can think about outreach activities for schools or higher education. And then we should think about university level, that's DGQ and other activities, but we focus here on industry, on professionals or individuals. What about people that are currently not going into a master or a PhD or going to university? How can they get into quantum? This is a European project, and we want to develop something that really works within Europe and outside. So this is a pan-European training program, short-term. This is a 3-year project where we want to start developing something, and hopefully we will continue doing that. We offer training courses that are for industries, as I said, for professionals, with industry. We have industry as partners in this consortium, where we really kind of review the content to really make sure that this content is what industry needs. That is not the same as, obviously, a course that is developed at a university for students. And at the end, we really want to provide guidelines for scaling up all these. If someone elsewhere wants to use this content and want to develop this, that this is, again, just the beginning. As partners, we have academic institutions. We have Aarhus University, TU Delft, University of Helsinki. We have PTB, that is the National Standards Institute of Germany, the University of Braunschweig, and ICFO as an institute of research. We have industry networks. As I said, this is key in order to develop what industry really needs. We have Stifterverband in Germany, we have Minagnet in Netherlands, we have QBLS in Germany, and we have other industry associations and consortiums. And QUIC is, let's say, an advisor from this project as well, because obviously it's the largest quantum industry network in Europe, and we really want to make sure that people in QUIC are aware of what we are doing. We have Airbus directly as a big corporate, and we as a small company where we really focus on developing this training. That's what we do as a business. And we have really kind of two main goals here. We have to develop the content, and we have to review the content to make sure that is what industry wants. This is really how it works. As I mentioned before, this is key because there are a lot of different resources out there if you want to learn quantum, but how to make sure that is really what you will need being a professional, being in industry. What we have done then is to start by having small courses, 1 to 5 hours, that we call modules. And then we have courses that could be up to 30 hours. The infrastructure is that obviously from all these different modules and courses, you can decide what you can take. It's not like you need to take just one or you can take everything. It's a structure where you can decide what is kind of the puzzle that really fits your needs. And what we have done as well is to understand what could be the different audiences out there. Again, talking from industry always. So if you look at these different modules and courses, we realize who is going to be the audience, because this is key. It's not the same when we develop content that is for a very technical audience that if it's for the decision makers. How can we make sure that the audience is receiving the message that they need? Where to find all these? The website is QTIndu.eu, and there you will have all the information, all about the partners that I just mentioned, the different events that we do, and this year is going to be quite busy, as well as the different courses. So you just click in courses and you will find all the different courses. Again, all for free. We divided the different courses in different transversal topics, because we think that anything that is general introduction or transversal is not really the same level that if you want to look for something in quantum communication or sensing or computing. Okay, let me give you a little bit the overview of the different modules and courses. The first one is a module that we have developed at Cureka, and this provides an overview of the ecosystem with a really focus on quantum computing. Who is doing what are the governments doing, what are the opportunities out there. This is really for everyone, but it gives you that kind of overview for people that they don't want to learn how to code, or maybe not yet. Who is doing what? Why quantum computing? And this is just about an hour, so you can really do it at your own pace. What you will learn is understanding the landscape in terms of funding, in terms of the different companies, the key players, and really understand what is really the difference between quantum and classical computing. And really open you a little bit the eyes of what could be the potential applications in your sector, in your business sector. Then we have some more technical and general physics modules where you can learn a little bit more about why quantum is so special in comparison with classical physics. And here you really will find a little bit more technical, but again, in a language that it could be understood by everyone. If you want to understand a little bit more the different phenomena and how different devices and specific things that we use in quantum technologies work. This is developed by Technische Universität Braunschweig, and there you will really see the basic terms, the difference between classical and quantum technologies, and really understanding those basic terms, hopefully, that you want to learn more depending on what really interested more to you, or what it really applies to you, depending on your business sector. Next, this is an in-person training developed by Aarhus University in Denmark. They have done this already in some countries, but one call that I want to do here, one call to action, if you're interested in having any of these in-person trainings or something specific in your country, in Europe, it has to be in Europe, please let us know, because I think, for example, this course is something very targeted. This is for decision makers, strategies, HRs, team leaders. This is to understand the competence framework for quantum technologies that has been developed in Europe, and what you should take into account when you want to hire and train managers. So this is really a practical session, again, in person, but we think that this could be very necessary and very interesting for a lot of companies in Europe. What you will learn, you will define some job functions. There is no really consensus on the job roles right now, so how to call whatever you need. This is a question that we receive a lot from a lot of companies. How to develop your own strategy in terms of education within your company, and how to use even ChatGPT for job posting, that we thought that is quite interesting. Another one that Aarhus University has developed also in person is taking into account this quantum readiness that has been developed, again, within the European framework. And this is really targeted to decision makers, team leaders, CEOs, CTOs. How to make your company ready, how to think about how to evolve in this quantum landscape, what to do when. So what are the challenges and opportunities? How to position yourself and understand the readiness of your own organization, and really understand and identify opportunities within these fields. This is an online course developed by University of Helsinki. It's called Inspiration Quantum. Basically, we think that it could be for anyone. And this is to introduce really in general the basic concept of quantum science and technology in a way that kind of try to takes away the hype and the technicalities. It wants to make you discern what is really hype media, what is really true, and what it doesn't make sense. And this is really, really important right now when we are talking about something that is emerging as quantum technologies. So here you will understand, again, this difference between classical and quantum computing, but to distinguish more in detail between the fault-tolerant quantum computers that is still under development and what we have right now, the near-term quantum devices, and understand a plausible fields of applications for the near-term quantum devices and for the long-term. Next, we have our course developed by Kureka, and this is a technical course, but so far we believe that it's really the most lengthy focused quantum machine learning course so far that we have found. And this is really from introduction to almost all the different topics that you will need to equip yourself to solve real world problems in quantum machine learning. We believe that this is really a must-take course if you're interested in quantum machine learning or if you are kind of pivoting from AI into quantum. And you will learn a lot of technical things, but again, you also will understand what could be the solution for your business, how to make decisions about it. So we believe that this could be quite interesting for high-level decision makers as well as very technical audience. And this is around, I think, 25 hours of learning. Next, by QWave, they have developed these quantum hardware and its applications with Quantum Inspire, and this is again a little bit more technical course where you will see how to use a quantum computing platform that takes you understanding the different quantum computing hardware solutions and how to use them in this platform that they have called Quantum Inspire. You will understand a little bit more about quantum algorithms, how to develop that in this Quantum Inspire SDK, and hands-on experience that they really want you to be able to do yourself your own exercises using this tool. So hopefully that will be quite interesting for you as well. About quantum communication, Braunschweig is developing this course where it takes the very technical field of quantum communications and quantum networks, but really focus on the industry audience, how to use this for the different business sectors, what could be the use cases. I'm explaining you something very technical, but how can you use it? And we think that this is really a must-take for everyone who really wants to dip a little bit more into how to use these different technologies. We hear a lot about quantum computing, but this is about quantum communications that sometimes is not thought as so imminent, but actually we need to take all this into account because quantum computing is coming and you will need quantum communication. So we really think that for everyone that is in telecommunications, cybersecurity, computer science, or even defense, this could be a very interesting course. Another course about quantum communication, developed in this case by QWave, is a very technical course where they use what they call a quantum network explorer. Once you have that kind of overview and understanding quantum communication in general, how to kind of take that knowledge into apply creating your own quantum network. And we believe that the way they use their own tools here is quite interesting. So how to use this quantum network explorer that they have developed QWave, and how to think about how you could develop your own quantum network in the end. And now on sensing, the PTV, the National Institute in Germany, this is an in-person course. And again, if you're interested, we could discuss whether this could be done in your country. But this is an introductory course to quantum sensing, where you really will learn a lot about quantum magnetometry. So you have theory, applications, but hands-on training. So what you will learn, what is quantum sensing, an overview of the different technologies, but then really the physical phenomena and how to use this hands-on, how to touch a quantum sensor, what are really those principles. And we believe that this is quite interesting. And this is really very close to the hands-on lab on superconductivity that they have already developed, and it was done last year, where we believe that it was really a success, because there is not really prior knowledge of quantum physics at all needed. And this is for people, again, that they want maybe to have more practical learning when they want to learn about quantum sensing. And here again, you have the very specific how to use superconductivity and squid sensors, but going from the theory to really touching and hands-on practice. I think this provides something very, very useful for anyone who wants to learn this. Again, also in person. Coming soon, and this is the last year of the project, and these courses are going to be appearing very soon in our website. We, at Cureca, we are developing quantum sensing and imaging. This is very in-depth course. It's around 30 hours of learning, and we believe that this covers almost everything that you will need if you are interested in quantum sensing. Then University of Helsinki is developing quantum computing the soft way, that is very, very general, but in a way that is really tailored for kind of decision makers and people that they don't want any technicalities. And then another one very focused for life sciences. Technische Universität Braunschweig is developing a module on quantum myths that we believe it could be quite interesting for general audience, and the quantum communication that I mentioned before. The courses that I mentioned before by Aarhus University, again, they are in person, and if you are interested in having these courses in your country, please contact us, and we can see if we can arrange it within this year. And the ones from PTV in Germany, that we believe that they are very interesting if you would like to learn more about quantum sensing. And just a little bit more about the competence framework, because we believe that if there is something that has been developed at European level, let's use it. And what we are trying to do is really to teach, as there is one of the courses teaching this competence framework, but also to match what we are developing with this competence framework. That at the end of the day, people around the world will kind of have a standard way to say, I have learned these things, this is my experience, this is kind of my persona within the quantum industry. And this is really under development and fascinating. Just before I leave, another thing that I wanted to mention today, this is not from QTIndu, but this is another course that we are developing also under our European project from EAT. And this is the Adequate project, Advanced End-to-End Quantum Computing Technical course. This is 50 hours of quantum computing learning, and this is very technical for everyone, but we believe that this is the resource that a lot of people will need really to dive into quantum computing. Don't tell me that there are no resources out there. I really hope that now you will start learning, and I just want to thank you. Remember to contact us, to follow us, and well, thanks for listening, and happy to take any questions.
So thank you so much, Araceli. Let me get this here. Yeah, on the Q&A. Thank you. I will love to have heard about this when I started my path in quantum, because my background is not physics, but wow, a lot of things happening, a lot of different topics actually, and you have talked about sensing, communication, computing. So let me introduce the questions. I have seen questions in the chat, but let me ask the first question. What do you think that is the best way to start with one of those technologies? Anything else?
Good question. I think that where to start is a question that I get a lot. You need to start with an overview. It doesn't make sense to go into something very technical from any of the technologies, because if you don't have that overview, I think there is one step that you have to do first. We have the module ecosystem that you saw. We have all the courses, general overview about quantum technologies. If you don't have that overview, you don't understand the differentiation between the different technologies, then you wouldn't understand why you will go into computing or communication. Obviously, if you are a professional, you need to understand first the opportunity, the business opportunities. Where is the advantage for you? Depending on your business sector, you might be interested to start first with sensing or computing. depending on where you work. That is really key, because a lot of people, thousands of people, are learning quantum computing nowadays. But quantum computing, well, it's not there yet, but there are sensors that are already available. There are things that you can build yourself. There are lab platforms that you can buy and start building your own sensor. There is an advantage already there. So sometimes I think that overview is missing, and there are a lot of resources. We have papers, and if you don't find what you need, just let me know. I send you more links.
Oh, that's wonderful. I totally agree with you. When I started for computing, and I was an great defensor of explaining the hardware because everyone was focusing the hardware. But then I discovered quantum communication, quantum sensing, and now I defend that too. Like it's not only about quantum, about computing. Everyone you talk with that is know so well bears will tell you about quantum computing, and well, there is another different worlds. So looking at the chat, Andy has a question that is, how do you ensure that the resources are relevant for both newcomers and professionals in the quantum industry?
That's a very good question, Andy. Let's be honest. If you're already in the quantum industry, you know already a lot, right? What would you be interested in? Maybe having that overview. Sometimes if you're coming, let's say you're coming from quantum communications and you know a lot about quantum communication, you might not know so much about who is doing quantum computing or who is doing in sensing. So again, going back to that kind of general overview. Now, one thing that I have seen in the quantum industry is that even if you're in the quantum industry, sometimes there are a lot of people that are not coming from physics. As David was saying, there are people in the quantum industry that haven't really no background. For those people, what is needed? First, the general awareness, and then, well, depending on where they work. I'm saying, for example, people are working marketing, people are working project management. There are more and more, there is a really imminent need of people that work in business. So really not super technical backgrounds, but they can speak a little bit of quantum. If you're coming with zero knowledge, that retraining or upskilling has to be done somewhere. And some quantum companies that have mentioned to me that this is really where they see a gap. It's like they don't have time to really train someone in quantum, and well, you need to learn by yourself. So people start to, well, in my free time, I need to learn quantum. There should be a balance between that upskilling and retraining internally, and also kind of a self-learning that we all still need to do.
Okay. So I have seen here another question by Philippe that is, can you tell more about the teachers? Are they from the academia, the industry? Do they teach other quantum courses, for example, in other universities?
Very good question, Philip. In general, nobody can really develop content if you don't know what you're talking about, right? You need to have that expertise. Within QTIndu, what we have is that people that are coming from university, so probably they are postdocs or academics at university, that they teach at the university, they develop content. But remember that we have industry, and we at Cureka, that we are kind of in between, we review the content to make sure that the content is for industry. So we have that kind of expertise coming from academia. In our case, for example, we work with experts in the quantum machine learning course. We have worked with 2 people that are experts in quantum machine learning. We know how to develop the content that match what industry needs with the expertise that they have. So in general, experts from academia or professionals that have worked in those fields. So I hope that answers, Philippe.
Wow, sounds amazing. We have more questions in the chat, so let's go for them. So Oksana is asking, what is your experience about the different for training requests from the different countries? For example, how requests from Italy are compared with the requests from other countries?
Very interesting and nice to see you, Oksana. I would say that that's a very important thing. That's why we have done different events in Germany. They have a particular way of requesting the knowledge, let's say, or the teaching method. And we have going to events that are kind of very general, very international, and you find a little bit of everything. Italy, as a very specific country that you mentioned, we have not done any course in person in Italy. And so far, I will need to check from, because of each of these courses, and I haven't mentioned this, but we have obviously a review form for anyone that is taking the courses to see what they think about. I will need to check really, but this is something that I believe towards the end of the project, we really need to check. How differs also the teaching and the learning needs depending on cultural and geographic grounds, because I think this is something that in general is, you have the, either you're coming from industry or academia, where you are coming from depending on the country is super hard to kind of make happy everyone. But that's why it's so important in this project to have those training networks, industry networks, sorry, and to have also the opportunity right now to do this with Quick, so that we can have that feedback from different audiences.
Yeah, that's really good. Taking different angles from different countries, and we have also a question regarding that from Thierry in this case. He's asking that the governments frequently offer trainings to reskill professionals for new sectors. So, how many governments have today launched training programs to help those professionals to pivot to the quantum sector?
Nice question, Thierry. I would like to know. I think what we know is, as I mentioned, the different projects from the European Commission, that being honest, has been an amazing effort to really focus on. But 3-4 projects is not going to make Europe ready tomorrow, right? But it's really the beginning. Now, specific countries that have done something to train themselves, as the government, obviously not, but you know, in Germany, you have regional networks, you have even networks depending around each university, like just to give you the Munich Quantum Valley or the Lower Saxony, right? So each region is kind of having that network nowadays in Germany, in France, in Spain, everywhere, where training is part of it. But at the end, the needs is, like Philippe was saying, the expertise. Who is going to teach all these? Because obviously the academics are very busy teaching what they have to do. There's not enough expertise out there, or experts out there, that they can spend the time teaching others. That's why these projects are really, really necessary in order to have these consortiums that they can work together to do this. Yeah, I believe that more things have to be done. I'm saying this for years.
Yeah, I agree with you. We have seen a lot of familiar faces in the chat, so I want also to make a question, as I see that there is interest in that thing, and I'm gonna go also for the perspective on the industry and the new skills needed and the new professionals, and I'm gonna make like a double question. So first, I want to ask you for the specific roles that will emerge and nowadays are emerging as new roles. And on the second hand, these roles are growing inside actual companies that are running for several years. So the first question is, what do you think that are those roles? And the second thing is, what strategy would you recommend for those companies, similar of the theory's question, in order to achieve that their workers or their employees has those required skills for the new positions?
Very good question, and very hard to answer. As I said, there is not really consensus. What we see, let's have a look at AI, because it's so recent that I think we need to learn from that. In AI right now, in each company, you have a CAIO, right? In the future, each company is going to have a CQO, Chief Quantum Officer. That is a role that is going to emerge. When? We don't know. A person that it could be the quantum innovation manager, or something that is what right now is the person within a company that is the kind of understanding what is going on, and maybe the person that is more active in Quick from the company, things like that. That person is going to emerge in the very short term. In all companies need to have that, and then depending on what the company do. So what is the business sector? And identifying what are the potential advantages of using the different technologies, then there will be the different roles. It's not the same if we talk about quantum computing. It's not the same if they need sensors, because I don't know, even in healthcare, the magnetometers that you will need to buy to use that, and maybe you don't need a specific new role within the hospital. Is a person that is just going to use it, right? So it really depends about what we are talking about. Hence, there are really so many different options. And another thing that in the quantum companies that I see more and more is what I call the translator. Is someone that maybe doesn't have a PhD, but at least probably a master's in quantum tech, and is able to translate the very technical language of what the company is developing, the papers, the patents, and all these, into a more lay audience language that anyone can understand, not only to sell, but to make people aware of what the company is doing. That translator, and that again, there is no consensus. I have seen quantum scientist or quantum engineer or whatever. That is going to be a role that is needed a lot at the moment. And the quantum engineer, that it could be anything. I think quantum engineering is a new field. Some people don't agree with that because I have heard that quantum engineering is going to be part of other engineers. So you are going to be studying mechanical engineering and you are going to have some subjects in quantum. I really believe that quantum engineering is going to be a new field by itself, but it's just not yet. But there are really a lot of things that need to be restructured. Now, how to prepare for that is very, very hard. These courses that others have developed, I think is a very good starting point. We have worked with companies on how to do that, but at the end of the day, a company needs first to have that person or a couple of people that understand a little bit of quantum and the opportunity. That has to be translated to the talent managers and HR, that they can identify within the different roles and people that are working in the company who needs to be upskilled and reskilled, and then having the strategy for that. A lot to do.
That sounds really challenging, actually, and I believe that with the good roadmap, you could do so. One thing that you mentioned that I have really like is what you said about that the future how do you say
CQO, you are seeing
the
yourself in
CQOs
CQO.
will be the ones that are more engaged within the activities in Quick, and I support that. So Quick has several working groups and expert groups, and I encourage you, the audience, to connect with these working groups and to work within them, because you will be the next CQO or your companies, and take the RSL's word for that. I'm seeing here another question in the chat from Oksana again. So, do you think that coordination for education and training initiative in Europe needs to continue on the quantum flagship level? What kind of coordination will be impactful from your point of view?
Very good question. Well, we need it now. Whether having this embedded in the coordination and support action is the best option or not, I don't know. But obviously, we need to continue with the things that we started. You, Oksana, have been involved in QTIndu activities. I really think that QTIndu should continue as something completely separate, not something from the CSA, but really QTIndu activities, and then all the different projects that have to do in education that can work under that umbrella. And the other thing that we see is that any European project or even national project, there is a part about skills and talent, but there's no coordination about that anywhere. I've been talking, for example, in the UK, and you have the different hubs. Right now, the new version of the hubs, and there's not really an umbrella that coordinates the different initiatives within all for all the hubs at the end. So similar to what Thierry was saying, how to put everything under an umbrella, that it could be the government or it could be, I don't know, something new. I really think that is missing. And well, I think in the past, probably QTIndu had that kind of a more community and structure that everyone was through that. Everything was kind of easier. So I believe that we need QTIndu coming back.
So, I believe we have talked about a lot of different things. There have been several questions regarding this, and I don't know if there is any other question, but whether people think or write. I have one last question, and with that, I think that if there is no more questions in the chat, we can close or conclude. That is, something that I have been thinking when you told me about this project and this title and this webinar that we want to set up. So, what will be your I don't know if it's an advice or a sentence or something for the students or professional right now that aren't sure if they should learn or switch into quantum, as I was back in the day, thinking about if I should be preparing or learning or switching to this quantum realm. What would be your advice or something that you will share with them?
This is kind of part of what I do when I do this career advice training. Is what is the plan? Right? You cannot just say I'm gonna go into quantum and in 2 days you are ready. That is not true.
Yeah, of course.
I take myself as an example. I have to do one master's and then the PhD. I'm kind of saying, hey, now I know about quantum. So it really took a lot of years to be able to do that. So I really think that if you want to become an expert, nowadays you will really need to do a PhD. But if you have a specific expertise, experience in a company, let's say you are a software developer or you are a business developer, and you want to really move into quantum, maybe you just with a master or with some specific training, as we have seen today with QTIndu or what Correcta offers, that will be enough with your expertise and experience to say, I match this specific job role. And this is really on an individual basis, but make a plan. And this sounds kind of yeah, sure. Well, you really need to do that because again, I have heard a lot of different craziness, like people that were experimenters and say, well, I'm learning now algorithms because we believe that this is the only way to get into quantum. And I said that is really wrong, because if you have experimental skills, there are companies all over the world looking for experimental skills in quantum. So if you really have that expertise, use it, because there is a talent shortage on that. You don't need to start from zero. So that kind of pivoting within quantum also doesn't make sense. Is what are your skills? What is your experience? What is really your expertise that you can put in your CV that it really matches what the industry needs? And if it's not what the industry needs right now, to be honest, probably not. It might be in 3 months, 6 months, or 5 years. I have told a lot of people, well, maybe not now, but if you gain experience in data science, in AI, I really think that a lot of people are working right now in AI are gonna pivot into quantum. So be patient, understand the ecosystem, be aware about the opportunities. Ask me, and well, I think it's gonna be fine. But just I think be patient and really understand where you want to go. I think that would be my advice.
I also, with my experience, I totally and fully support the thing that you said about the roadmap. Have a plan. Think about you what do you like. Try, and of course, you have several free resources in which you can learn. So with that, I believe we have covered several topics, and thank you, Araceli, for being here and being part of this and showing us that there is a lot of resources out there. Reach Araceli if you have any questions, or me, or Quick. Within Quick, you know that we help both in the industry, but we offer several different things. And again, thank you for being here. Thank you to the audience for being engaged, for the questions, and for being here listening. With that, we are closing. Thank you, Araceli.
Thank you for
And
having me.
you're welcome. And last but not least, I want to share that this is the QWave series. Within this series that are live in YouTube, just like this one, we will cover several topics. We have been covering topics like fault-tolerant quantum computing or scaling quantum computing. This one about free educational resources. But in the future, we will be covering many other topics regarding the other technologies or other aspects of quantum. So be prepared, subscribe to the channel, to the European Quantum Industry Consortium YouTube channel, and stay tuned for the next one that I believe is going to be by the end of next month. Thank you all, and with that, we are closing. Thank you for being here, and remember, QWave Series in the YouTube Quick channel.